a big question. We could ask this any night, but it's getting hotter. Do Democrats go for the jugular the way Republicans do? John Ensign escaped a federal investigation, is now seeking a third term. David Vitter got reelected last month. Charlie Rangel got censored. And just look at how the right-wing press played up Rangel's censure yesterday. Well, look at it today. The New York Post, look at the front page. They blew it up on their front page with the headline, Charlie goes down fighting. Great, that's great stuff. Make him miserable. The Washington Times, a real right-wing paper, put it above the fold. Look at this, with a big, happy, miserable picture of Charlie Rangel looking dejected. In contrast, look at the Daily News, a liberal paper, relegated to one line at the very top of their front page. The New York Times, the gray lady, put the story in their first column on the left side. No picture, just no painful exploitation of the thing. They buried the thing inside the paper. Look at the Washington Post. They have no point of view anymore. They put it below the fold. I don't even know what the Post stands for. Ron Reagan's a political commentator and former radio host. I'm talking about, Ron, you're chuckling because the right wing seems to know how to put your heel into the back of the guy's head when he's down, whereas the Democrats feel a little compassion when they see Vitter caught with a hooker in D.C. and then caught later, apparently, down in Louisiana. They say, hey, it's just human, give him a break. The other guy buys off the husband and top staffer of the woman he had the affair with federal largesse, and he probably going to get reelected out in Nevada. Republicans are meaner, I think. I
think you're probably right. I think they're better at this sort of all's fair in love and war kind of stuff. We saw it again. I think there was a real watershed this week between the White House and Congress, where they had the Slurpee summit, and afterwards President Obama comes out and says the usual things you say about a private conversation. Yeah. Don't want to, don't want to give away anything, but we had a nice conversation. We're all going to work together for the American people. Republicans come out and say, well, we congratulate the president for basically, I'm paraphrasing, apologizing to us for not giving us what we want. And then 24 hours later, they issue the ultimatum. Give us everything we want or we shut down the government. So much for you go and then I go.
Well, let Roger get in here. Is there a difference in the way they behave? I argue that Republicans put their heel in the back of your head, like in a schoolyard fight in a tough neighborhood.
Well, they always bring a gun to a knife fight, the Republicans.
Like Jimmy in your town.
Right. The Democrats show up with little butter knives. I mean, I don't think the right wing is meaner than the left wing. I think they're just better at it.
Oh, aren't you, Chicago?
No, well, they're a lot better at it. I mean...
Tell me why that's good. Well, just make the case. Why is it better to be nastier? Or to be more personal, because we're talking personal issues here. Everybody knew Charlie Rangel broke the rules. The question was how much to smash his face in with this, whether make it a reprimand or a censure, and how much to put on the front page and really humiliate him. The right-wing press said, let's really stick it to him. And they did.
Well, that's what the right-wing press does. I mean, they have more experience at it. Look, you talk about mean people. You talk about mean campaigns. You're talking about Willie Horton. You're talking about...
using race, using everything.
You're talking about swift boat veterans. You're talking about real game-changing things. Democrats don't have stuff like that. You're talking about, you want to get mean guy. When Glenn Beck says Barack Obama is a racist, he has a deep-seated hatred for the white people or the white culture. That's a direct quote.
There's not much like that on the Democratic side.
There's not. You get wry, sardonic, witty people like Stephen Colbert, like Jon Stewart. Now, I think they're more effective because they can persuade persuadable people, but they're in a whole different league than people who just hit you in the face, keep hitting you in the face. That's all
I think you're saying it so well, Roger. I don't know how you beat what I just heard there. You have a great memory for the details of evil. You're very good. Ron Reagan, we're in tough competition here because Roger remembers what I forget occasionally, the stuff like Glenn Beck accusing a president who is so, whatever you think of his politics, has so gotten beyond this country's racial history, so good at dealing with everybody on equal terms. I mean, I don't think we've had a president, and Clinton was pretty good, but this guy's better.
Well,
just getting beyond race, and they call him a racist. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if Nancy Pelosi had called extending middle-class tax cuts chicken crap? You know, what would the right-wing press do with that? But I think there's a bigger issue here, and it's that the Republicans are all together on their agenda. They are serving corporate America, is what they do. The Democrats would like, the leadership anyway, would like to serve corporate America. That's where the money is, and money is the path to power.
You just heard that from Richard Durbin.
But they're divided as a party.
Yeah.
Well...
Yeah, they're divided as a party. They have constituents and even members who aren't down with that kind of program, who actually are interested in social justice.
Okay. Does the end justify the means, Ron? You've got the mic here. In other words, does the point of view, and some of my colleagues, I think this too, I'm not sure it's true. Does the purpose of social justice, the purpose of equity, of a better America justify bare-knuckle politics? Not just hardball,
yes.
bare-knuckle politics.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, if you're in a knife fight, you bring a knife or bring a gun, if that's it. If you're fighting for social justice, you do what you need to do to win. You know, the Republicans will do what they need to do to win representing corporate America. So why not fight the same way?
But in the end, you only win the battles. You don't win the war. You have a more degraded America. You have an America that now we're worried about. You have an America...
Who's winning right now? The right or the left, using the different tactics?
The right is winning right now.
With their dirty, not dirty, but nasty tactics. You want to argue?
I'll tell you.
By the way, I called a couple campaigns in this election on the Democrat side that I thought nasty. I thought the Conway shot at Rand Paul about his religion was a nasty shot. I called it 3 or 4 times. So I think I don't think one party's guilty of all transgressions here.
That's absolutely true. But it's getting scary. Maybe I'm the only one in America who was scared when that guy showed up at a Barack Obama rally with an AR-15 semi-automatic assault rifle, and it was not that big of a story. It was about a 24-hour story. People can show up with guns.
Zealotry and guns.
Rallies.
Political zealotry and guns together.
I mean, my God. I mean, you can just imagine what's going to happen.
We could do a whole show on this. The whole question of what's fair in love and war and what's better for America. Thank you. Ron Reagan, thank you. I got an advanced copy of a certain book today, by the way, Ron. A very interesting book I'm looking at. I think it has something to do with your writing skills. We'll be talking to you. I hope we get you first. Anyway, Roger Simon, as always, sir.